Hey, we have another story time episode for you guys, so let's get straight into it then. Yay! Can't wait. Alright, so this story is about birds, specifically birds in my neighborhood. And for the most part, I don't really have too many problems with most birds, but there are a few in particular in my neighborhood that, well, let's just say give me a nuisance, a little bit of a headache. Um, so, this really only happens in the spring and summer months when birds are nesting and, making baby chicks, little baby birds. And, well, it's not so much that I don't like them nesting, it's just I don't like where they nest, and they always do it in the most inconvenient spots. So, my parents like to decorate a lot, and they put this decorative springtime wreath, almost like a Christmas wreath, but, for springtime, and they usually have one for all the seasons. So, around springtime, birds come up to the door. They put a nest in the top of the fucking thing. And then, well, I don't know if you're not putting two and two together, but a bird nesting, probably one of their most private times that they need, and protective times is when they're the most protective over their soon-to-be children, their offspring. And they put it on a front door where people go in and out all the fucking time. It's a nuisance, but it's also kind of funny because every time that I order something off of Amazon or I am expecting something in the mail to be delivered onto the porch, the bird either comes out and goes straight for the mailman or the UPS man or whoever the hell is delivering the package, and they get scared out of their minds. And sometimes I'm just an asshole standing behind the door because there's a little glass part that goes up the middle, and I can kind of see while I'm sitting from the couch, and I'll just look over. And oftentimes they get scared by the bird launching out at them, or they didn't notice it. Most of the time they don't attack. They just go over to the tree that's right beside the nest, probably like 5-6 feet away from it. And if you're on the porch, they'll just wait for you to go away. But they're always like chirping at you and doing very defensive screeches against you and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so that always happens every fucking year. And I tell my parents, hey, might be a good idea to take down the wreath, or I don't know, because birds always keep nesting in it. And they're like, oh, yeah, well, they don't really think about it too much. It's not a problem in their eyes, but it can be, So, nonetheless, they didn't take it down. They're not planning to, so I don't know. Might as well have a little fun with it while this situation is still ongoing. So, that's not all, because I actually do have a really funny story that goes along with this. You see, not only do they lay their eggs in there, of course, they obviously hatch at some point, right? So it's usually around the time, probably a few weeks into summer they hatch and they're still young. Well, the funny thing is, oftentimes these little hatchlings, they can fall off the door when you're moving them, The mother gets scared, she flies away, and maybe one or two falls out of the nest. And, well, I know I've had to put them back up there, and it's never fun because they're squirming and usually looks like it hurts. It's like a 5-foot drop for them. But, so anyways, one night my dad was working on the front door or something. I think he was looking at the hinges and he was going to open it. Of course not, he forgot about the new chicks that were just hatched, that just hatched out of their eggs. And so he opens it, and our door, the way it opens, you open it and the thing swings inside. So of course it startles one of the birds, the chicks, and it jumps out straight onto our carpet in the inside of our foyer, I guess. And we have a dog, and she's part Chihuahua, part Min Pin, and she goes straight for the chick. She snatches it up and she runs away with it, and it happened so fast. I was right by it. I was like, wait, what? Did she just do what I think she just did? And of course she did. And she goes straight under the couch, and we're like, oh god. And my mom's like, what the hell is happening? Because she only barely just saw what happened. And I was like, oh well, I think Xena took a chick. She snatched it with her mouth and went under the couch. She's like, oh god, poor thing. Okay, let's just get Xena, our dog, and let's just get that thing out of her mouth and put that thing back in there. I'm like, oh, okay. And so we're scrambling, and I go under the couch. I'm moving my arm around, trying to, feel for my dog. And Xena's just getting nervous. So she runs out of the couch real fast and goes over to the corner behind another chair. And I'm like, okay, oh God, hopefully nothing too bad happened to this poor thing. So I go behind there, and Xena runs out, and I notice there's nothing in her mouth. So I'm like, okay, so great, she doesn't have the bird anymore. I'm like, fucking God, okay. So I go behind the couch, and the thing can almost fly. It is going haywire, this bird. Flying, flapping around. It can't suspend itself up in the air too long. It's just in its early stages of flying, and it still has a lot to learn, I guess. So anyways, I'm trying to catch this thing, I'm like, God, how the hell, because every time you try and go up to it, it like goes 3 feet further than where you were about to get it. And the thing is so fast for me and anyone else in the room. And we're getting frustrated, we yelled at the dog, hey, drop it. And she did get too nervous and she dropped it. I guess she didn't have it in her when her owners were yelling at her, and she felt bad, so she didn't want to kill it anymore. And so anyways, it took us about 15 minutes to get this fucking bird. And I think we eventually caught it with a blanket. I think we threw it over it just before it was about to leap up again. And we got it. We eventually got it in the blanket, and we were holding it shut, and we could feel it flap around in there. We're like, oh God, okay. And me and my dad are just looking at each other like, how are we going to do this? Somebody got to grab it and hopefully put it back up there or something, or just put the blanket over the nest and hopefully it lands in there. And we're like, well, okay. My dad's like, let me grab it. So we opened it up real fast, and luckily it didn't fly out, but he caught it as quick as he could. He caught it, and then he placed it back up in the nest as perfectly as he could. And, well, every year since then, well, actually even before then, we still have birds nesting in there. It's so weird because we'll take out the nest whenever they leave. They're not, nobody's using it anymore. And another fucking bird will come up and put another nest in there. I don't know. I guess they think it's appealing because it's on a porch and there's like a roof that comes over the porch. So it, provides shelter away from water and all. And yeah, I don't know. It's funny because you see other birds kind of watching this go on just out on the lawn, and you think they'd take notes, but I guess not. They'd be like, oh, that's it looks like good real estate, but really it's not in actual practice and when you actually get there. So I actually did take a little bit of a video to show just a casual thing of just walking up to the front porch, and then you have the bird and all. It's funny because most people, even if they do see the bird, they think it's a decoration. They think, oh, okay, decorative wreath. There's a nest at the top, and they see the robin there. I think that's the bird. and they think, oh, that's a fake bird, and then they come up to it and then they get freaked out. So yeah, that was just a quick story to tide you over, I guess. I did promise that I'd come out with this video on the weekend, but things kind of got in the way. So, but nonetheless, here we are. Okay, I'll leave you with the video. Goodbye. Have a good one. Oh. Scared it away. It's okay, I'll leave. Sorry for enjoying my front porch.